It is so good to be here with you. Someday I want to tell you why that is, but let's leave that for another day. It's great to see my friend Marty here, ready to speak from her heart with a message that we can take with us, make our week better. Well, there's a new world coming. It's just around the bend. There's a new world coming. This one's coming to an end. There's a new voice calling. You can hear it if you try. And it's growing stronger with each day that passes by. And there's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and green. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. And there's a new world coming. You can hear it if you try. And it's growing stronger each day that passes by. Yes, there's a new world coming, one we've been dreaming of, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love. And she will wipe away every tear from every eye, and death shall haunt them no more. Neither will there be pain, nor mourning, nor crying anymore, but for these former things have been washed away. And there's a new world coming, and it's just around the bend. There's a new world coming, this one's coming to an end. Yes, there's a new land dawning. You can hear it if you try, and it's growing stronger with each day that passes by. Yeah, there's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. There's a new world coming, one that we've had visions of. It's coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love, coming in peace, coming in joy. It's coming, coming in love. Thank you.
Wonderful, inspiring music. And we'll hear more from Brian later today. All right, so good morning, everyone. We so appreciate everyone here, all of you online. So my name is Hope Dodson. I'm your platform assistant for today. And it's my honor to welcome everyone. And we know that you're here by divine appointment, and you will take something wonderful away from today's message. All right, so I have a few announcements today, and the rest of them will be on the screen, the upcoming event screen at the end of service. So first, I'm sure most of you have read the email that Jan sent out last week, and we're holding her and her husband Bob in a prayerful space as they go through this difficult time. But they want you to know how much they appreciate all of your loving support and your prayers for them. So that's great. I want to thank all the chaplains and all the people who came to World Day of Prayer, the Unity World Day of Prayer last Thursday. That's what means a lot to me to do that. The promotion ministry meeting has been postponed to September 25th at noon in the adult classroom. We just had a lot of scheduling conflicts early this month, and so we've moved it to the 25th. Hospitality ministry meeting will be next week, September 18th at noon in the adult classroom. That's the ministry that does the fun activities and the fundraising activities. So if you're interested in checking that out, please come and join and see if it's a good fit and help out. So we appreciate that. Our prayer chaplains are planning their annual training next month. So we have an orientation for anyone who might feel led to explore more about the prayer chaplain program, find out what we do, what the training is, what the responsibilities are. You can come to the orientation on September 18th and also pick one, or September 25th after church, right after service. All right, Ladies' Night Out. September 19th at 5:30 p.m., Mike Duffy's in Kirkwood. Men's Night Out, also September 19th at 6 p.m. at Chili's in Kirkwood. And last but not least, October 2nd, mark your calendar, we're going to have our pancake breakfast. It's like pancakes and more. We're going to have some breakfast casseroles and fruits and all kinds of things. And we are trying to invite the people who haven't been here for a while, sort of a homecoming, so that'll be fun. So plan for that after service, and it'll be a great time to reconnect with one another and people you haven't seen for a while. So at this time, I'd like to welcome up our chaplain for the day, Mary Tuminello, to read the daily word and lead us in prayer.
Good morning. My name is Mary Tuminello, and I have the privilege of being your prayer chaplain this morning. After the service, I will be standing over by the window. Please come and pray for me for any needs or joyous things you'd like to pray for. And as always, all prayers will be kept confidential. Today's daily word is remembrance. You live in my heart. Would you repeat this with me? You live in my heart. Whether they have passed on recently or many years ago, the people for whom I have cared deeply are alive in my heart. If I feel sad or lonely for those I miss, I pause to recall a special memory or something unique about them that made every ordinary day feel special. Reflecting on the love and joy we shared and the blessings that lives affording me. I feel comforted. I am thankful that these memories will always be mine to treasure. I know that life does not end with death. Life is eternal, and my loved ones will always be beautiful, beloved expressions of spirit. I am grateful those who have passed from this life experiences continue to live in spirit and are forever in my heart. And from Psalms 112, verse 6, for the righteous will never be moved. They will be remembered forever. Let us pray. Let us pray and remember. Let us remember this day and pray for all the people that we lost on 9/11. It was told to me at one time, no one dies until no one remembers them. So let us bring to our mind all those we have lost, all those we have loved. Bring them into our heart. Let them know that they are remembered. We know, even though we are in this human world do not know what happens after transition, we know they live on in divine spirit. And with this thought, with this knowledge, we are all blessed, and so are our loved ones. And so it is. Amen. You would all rise for our next song.
Morning. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax in the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Love fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does.
Okay, so you know how life often throws you curveballs and unexpected events. I know you were expecting Reverend Sharon Allman today, weren't you? Well, unfortunately, yesterday afternoon, she tested positive for COVID, so she won't be able to make it today. But we were blessed to be able to acquire my good friend here, Marty Thurman, who is, she attends Unity St. Louis South, and she's a licensed Unity teacher, LUT, and is good enough to come join us to speak today. At Unity St. Louis South, Marty serves as the Sacred Service Director and Adult Education Coordinator, in addition to several other volunteer roles. And I'm honored to know Marty for several years. We're both working on our LUT classes at the same time, so we had a few classes together. And I was honored to attend Marty's graduation from the program last fall. So let's welcome Marty Thurman. Oh, and her talk for today is, Who Do You Say You Are?
Good morning, and a hearty, loving hello from Unity of St. Louis South. We will be hosting the All Unity Thanksgiving this year, and we do hope that you'll join us for that. We are already planning and hope to have a lot of special events planned for that, and we'd love nothing more than to see you there. I love unity. I love all of the books that Unity has that are called classics. I'm becoming a classic. Seems like each year I'm becoming more and more classical. They are the meat and potatoes of Unity, and they are written in the time of the late 1800s, early 1900s, and sometimes you have to work around the verbiage a little bit. Charles is very challenging sometimes when you're reading his stuff, but what I learned through my Unity studies is that the books that are attributed to Charles Fillmore were never written as a book. Those were his notes that they took on different subjects and put together. So that's a reason why it doesn't flow sometimes, but the nuggets are there. So I've been thinking about the classes I'm going to teach this next fall, or this coming fall. And I was toying around with prosperity, so I pulled out the classic prosperity book written by Charles Fillmore. And to my surprise, in this book, he talks about photography, of all things, and how it relates to the law of manifestation. Now, that really got my attention because photography has always been my passion. Started, now you're going to date yourself, but I want to see a raised hand here in a minute. It started when my father bought me a Brownie Kodak camera. Anybody remember those? That was the cat's meow. I loved taking pictures with that. I loved putting film in it, taking the pictures, taking the film down to the drugstore around the corner. That wait for 2 days for my pictures to be developed seemed like 2 years. I just couldn't stand it. And I would get them back, and I would be so excited if they actually looked like what I had taken a picture of. When I was in junior high, I was asked to be on the yearbook committee as a photographer. Wow, big stuff. Then I went on to high school and was doing photography for the yearbook there. Just absolutely loved photography. Now, all the kids in school wanted their picture made, so that also kind of helped my cool factor. So I would be happy to take their picture, but then they'd come to school the next day and want to see it. Well, I didn't have it because it took 2 days to process. We just did black and white, right? So it wasn't rocket science. So I got the idea to ask my father to build me a dark room. So I hit him up about it, and the answer was, no. So, you know, teenagers are really skilled at working you over. And I worked it. I cleaned house. I carried in the groceries. I made sure the animals were fed. Anything I could do to get just some favor from Dad and get my dark room. I worked him over. I just pleaded, please, please. And then I finally convinced him that this is really important. You know, this is important to my journalism. This is important to where I may go with my life. And finally, he gave in. And he built me this little bitty dark room in the corner of our garage. Now that's where the magic happened. And for those of you who may not remember a time before digital photography, I want to talk a little bit about that process and what happened, because it's going to tie into something later. So stay with me. So you'd be in the dark room, and it was called dark room for a reason. It was dark. And you'd have a little tiny red light in the corner that would give you just a little bit of visibility. And you'd process your negatives. And once those were processed, you would hang those up to dry. Once those dried, you would take those negatives and put them in this machine. The light would come through the machine, through the negative, and onto your photo paper, your white photo paper. And you would see that image, actually kind of a shadowy image on there. Now, the funny thing about that was that once you took that photo paper away from the machine, that paper was still completely white. There was no image on it. Because what you had to do is develop it. And you would have these 3 trays. You would have a developer tray, you would have what they called a stop bath or a fixer, and then you would have a rinse, which would be water. So once you put that image on the paper from the film, you would come over and you would put it in the developer, and you would do this with it, and the magic went to happening. This picture would start coming into being. Now, the trick was timing. Because if you kept doing this and you weren't paying attention, you would overexpose it, overdevelop it, and it would be too dark. If you got in a rush and you didn't, it would be underdeveloped. Then you would, once you got that sweet spot, you'd put it in the stop bath, rinse it, and hang it up to dry. This process before digital was very similar to what Charles and Myrtle experienced in photography. And if you think about the time of day, their time of day, there was a time, you would see it in the old Western movies, where the photographer has a big box on stand and he pulls up the drape and puts his head underneath there. Well, instead of film, they had these little thin sheets of, what did they call those? Anybody know? Made out of tin. Tin types. So the photographer had his tin type that he put in that dark box. That was the dark room for him. And then he would get under there, and when he was ready to take his picture, he would let the light in to expose it. And that's how it worked. So when I was reading from the Prosperity book, this is what Charles had to say. Charles Fillmore, our co-founder. Our soul development is often compared to the development of a photographic plate. The light puts the image on the sensitive plate in the first place. Then there's an image on the plate, but it is invisible and unmanifest until it goes through a development process. Infinite mind, or we like to say God, has imaged all its attributes in the soul of every man. But man must develop this image into the clear picture with perfect faith in the law of manifestation. The photographer works in the darkroom, putting the plate through many processes. Sometimes the developer may make an error in some of the operations, and the plate will come out with an imperfect image. So, the human manifestation sometimes seems distorted, but the image of perfection imprinted by creative mind, or God, is there. This perfect image is, as in Colossians 1:27, the Christ in you, the hope of glory. I'm a visual person. That's probably why I like photography so much. And I just love the thought of this imprinting process. The light of God being imprinted on us, our souls. That's the truth. That's unchangeable. That's not for debate. It is perfectly imprinted on us. However, there's always that however, isn't there? It is our development of this imprint that can cause the distortion in our picture and how we outpicture to others. We all have our life experiences, don't we? Sometimes we have people in our life when we're young who were in a caregiving role and who maybe weren't that good at it. And they give us messages from an early age that we're not worthy, that there is something wrong with us. So we receive messages sometimes from others in our development that aren't true. They're not the truth. But most importantly, we give ourselves a lot of messages, don't we, that are not true as well. And that's why unity and all of these other new thought people put so much emphasis on our thinking, because they get it. They get it like Charles got it. We are in a development process, and what we do between these ears makes a big difference. And what we do with our I am statements is huge. And I personally believe it is our developer. And I've got some handouts here I've asked the helpers here to pass out. And you can put the slide up too. Yep, there it is. That we're going to talk about a little bit more about this I am development. This handout was actually created by Jackie Compton, who is on the board at Unity Church of Light in St. Charles. She's a very creative person. She's also an author, has written a book. I think she's working on her second one. And she allowed me to share this with you. I ran across it not too long ago, and I thought that is so perfect as to what I really want to get across today. So we have negative I am statements, which I think, unfortunately, we are all very good at. And we have positive I am statements. And the choice is ours as to which developer we want to use. But this is a really good visual and a really good exercise as to how this works. And so I would like to go over it with you. If you look at the left side of this brochure in the pink, that's the negative. On the right side is the positive. And I would like to do this as a call and response, where I will say, let's start on the left side. When I say I am tired, you would say I forfeit my energy. I would say when I am poor, you would say I desert my abundance, and so forth, okay? Everybody got that? Okay, everybody has one, right? Anybody need one? Raise your hand. Okay, good deal. When I say I am tired, I forfeit my energy. When I say I am poor, I desert my abundance. When I say I am discouraged, when I say I am fearful, when I say I am angry, when I say I am lonely, and then if you look at the people in the middle there, the one on the left, these statements create helplessness, restlessness, shame, loneliness, hurt, fear, sadness, and anger. So we're going to switch gears, okay? And we're going to go into positive. And that's what we really have to get skilled at doing, because we're real good at doing this other stuff on the left side. And what I try to do is when I catch myself saying, I am, if it's negative, I turn it right back around. And I flip it to the mirror image of that. And I'll give you some examples of that in a minute. And I say these like you mean it now. I know you can do it. When I say, I am enthusiastic. When I say, I am prosperous. When I say, I am uplifted. Okay, guys, you can do better than that. A little more energy, please. I'm going to fall asleep. When I say, I am love. Thank you. When I say, I am happy. When I say, I am connected. How does that feel? Better? So we stand in our truth when we use our I am as a developer, right? For the positive, because then we are owning what is the truth of who we are. Don't forget what image you've been stamped with. And as Jackie put on here, standing in truth, I move from fear to faith. Today, I choose who I am. I hope this is a good visual help for you, and I hope you'll take it home and use it when you need some help moving from the left to the right, so to speak. I would like to take a minute to plug a book. I don't know how many of you all have seen this. It's called The Essential Charles Fillmore, A Guide to Practical Mysticism and Metaphysics. The writer is James Gaither, who also teaches in the ministerial program at Unity. He wrote the original book back in the 90s, I want to say 1999, but he teamed up with Ellen Davenport, who wrote the Five Principle book, and they kind of revamped this, and I absolutely love it because he gives us the Charles Fillmore information, but he also gives us the times so that it's in perspective. It's hard to understand sometimes, why did they say that? But then you realize, oh, they were in the Depression. They were at war. And then it just makes a little more sense. In this book, he points out a lot of Charles Fillmore. But one thing I ran across that I felt like really fit this discussion today. Charles said, every thought registers itself with unerring accuracy in the body. You are a walking picture flashed by the camera of your mind into visible manifestation. Every thought registers itself with unerring accuracy in the body. You are a walking picture flashed by the camera of your mind into visible manifestation. Whew. What kind of pictures are you taking? There's a couple of other things that I found about the I am, which I would like to share. Reverend Margaret Pounders, who was a well-known Unity minister, in her book, Laws of Love, says this: anything less than perfection attached to the I am is misusing the holiness with which you are entrusted. Anything less than perfection attached to the I am is misusing the holiness with which you were entrusted. And Charles Fillmore, in his books Talks on Truth, says, your I am is that which carries you up or down to heaven or hell, according to the idea to which you have attached to it. Are you moving up? Are you moving down? How are you doing with your development? Are your I am statements a distortion of the truth of who you are? Are you an accurate representation of the Creator? One of my favorite songs is from Karen Drucker, and I'm sure probably everybody here has heard it. You are the face of God. What does your God face look like? Do you remember the story about the burning bush? In Exodus, Moses hears something, and he hears his name, and it's a bush that's on fire, and he runs to the bush, and it's the Lord. And he says, here I am. And what does the Lord say? Take your sandals off, because the ground that you stand on is holy. Now, that's been misinterpreted by many Bible scholars to say that because the bush was burning and the Lord was there, that the ground was holy. The ground was holy because I am here. Where you stand is holy ground. And do not forget that. We often hear that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But if your human picture is not in alignment with the truth, the image, which has been imprinted on you, I would encourage you to take a look at what you're doing to develop a clear picture. Paying special attention to your I am statements is a really good place to start. While I was waiting for services to begin, I started thinking about how I use this technique to help me. I am angry. No, I am love. I'm so anxious. No, I am in a place of peace. Oh, I am so frazzled. Oh, no, I am calm. I am so broke. No, I am prosperous. I'm so afraid. No, I am confident. I can't do that. I'm too busy. No, I am willing. I'm not going to listen to that. No, I am open. I'm not ever going to get over that. I'm going to hold a grudge as long as I live. No, I am forgiveness. I'm just so sad. No, I am joy. I'm just so tired. No, I am energetic. That's how it works, okay? Take this home. Use it. Make your developer a good developer. Let your picture come out the way it's supposed to. Thank you. Let's move into some time of meditation. We can work on some of this. Just ask that you take a few deep breaths in and release them. And whatever I am message that was on the left side of that paper, you're going to release it. Any angst, any uneasiness, any error thinking, as Charles would call it, you're going to let it go. And you're going to breathe in what you have here in this community. You're going to breathe in the support. You're going to breathe in the love. The willingness. And just the calm and peace. Now, Eric Butterworth reminds us that there is no cut and paste, right or wrong way of meditating. Meditation is just being willing to open yourself up, to let that God source, that energy of all, to run through you, be you. Open your heart space up and let that energy, let God, source, the divine, whatever you choose to call it, come into your heart space and just be. And we're going to go into the silence and let you sit with that. Let you have some time with Spirit. And as we move out of that place of silence, just come back to this room at this time, as is timing for you. Just take your time. And remember as you leave this space that you can revisit it at any time, even if you just have a few minutes. That Spirit, the divine, that connection is always there. We just have to be that light switch that turns it on. And as you move through this week, I affirm and know that you will be paying special attention to the developer that you are using in your life as you move from the negative statements that are so easy and so ingrained sometimes, and you make that turn around the bend and not only say who you are, but you believe it, you know it, and you carry it with you, and you let that shine to others. And your face of God becomes so bright in your community that people want to know, what do they have? And as you come back to this room, again, just look around at this beautiful building, the beautiful people that you share this space, this time with. This alone is a gift. So it is, and it is so. Amen.
There is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter. One day, oh, we'll get it together, we'll get it undone. Oh, someday when the world is much lighter, someday we'll walk in the ways of the beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter right now, right now, right now, right now, right now.
Right. Thank you for another beautiful song, Brian. Just lovely. And thank you, Marty, for that wonderful talk. And also Chuck Seeger, our song leader for today. So thank you all. All right. I also want to say a special thank you to everyone who makes this Sunday service possible. You know, it takes a village to get a Sunday service going. So thank you to everyone. So now is the time to bless our offering. We are so grateful for your financial support, whether you're here in the room or you're online. Your offerings definitely help this ministry, it sustains the ministry and helps us reach out so that we can get our message to more people out in the community and enrich more lives. So if you're here in the sanctuary, there's a box in the back of the back pews back there. If you're online, you can donate through our website, unitystl.org, or if you're watching live or if you watch the YouTube video, there's a link in the description box below the YouTube video. All right. So again, really grateful for all your support. All right, so please join me now in blessing our many gifts. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And now we'll have our next community song, Morning Has Broken.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning. Praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain new fall, sunlight from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning. God's creation on the new day.
Sorry. Okay. As we come to the end of our Sunday celebration, let's join together in saying the expanded version of the prayer for protection. This is the one that's on our website, which celebrates the power of God and also our own spiritual identity. So you can raise your hands if you like. And the light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. The presence indwells us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you. So thank you all for being with us today, whether you're watching live or here in the sanctuary. And please know that we are all walking together, walking with you in light and love and peace. So for those of you here in the sanctuary, if you would like to join us downstairs after service for coffee and conversation, we'd love to get to know you better. And our service will close today with our closing song by Brian Clark, Fields of Joy. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear that rooster crow? Do you feel that sun rising? Today we've got someplace to go. Now it's a place we've been before, but we were just passing through. But today we're gonna stick around, and we may never move. We're going out to the fields, out to the fields, out to the fields of joy. We're going out to the fields, out to the fields this morning in the fields of joy. All right, tell them, Steve. Now when we get there, don't be surprised at the people that you meet. Well, there'll be folks from all around the world grooving to that beat. Well, there'll be baskets of understanding and coolers filled with love and a blanket of acceptance big enough for everyone. So come on out to the fields, out to the fields, out to the fields of joy. Come on out to the fields, out to the fields, step into the fields of joy. When that evening sun goes down, we'll still be carrying on. There'll be music playing, people swaying, dancing until dawn. And no one's in a hurry, 'cause time just seems to flow. It's perfect up above, and so it is below. So if you're asking yourself, how could it be that any of this is true? Well, it's happening right here, right now. You just got to step on through. Step on through. Fields of joy. Step on through, step on through. Step into the fields of joy. What is this? This is a party going on out in the fields of joy. We got a party going on right now out in the fields of joy. It's a party going on out in the fields of joy. A party going on out in the fields of joy. And everybody says, all right. We're out in the fields of joy. We're all right out in the fields of joy. All right in the fields, out in the fields, it's all right. We're out in the fields of joy. Come on down, out in the fields of joy. Come on down into the fields of joy. Just step on through, step into the fields of joy. Step on through, step into the fields of joy.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are the